Revive your mindset in 2025. Unlock the best version of yourself. Introduction. Are you ready for a fresh start in 2025? It's a new year, and with it comes the perfect opportunity to reset and unlock the best version of yourself. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the mindset you have right now. How you think, what you believe about yourself, and how you approach challenges shapes everything about your reality. In this guide, we'll dive into how to shift your mindset and develop habits that will carry you toward long-term success. It's not just about setting goals or having the right intentions. It's about understanding how to build the mental strength needed to follow through on those goals day after day, year after year. By the end of this journey, you'll know how to clear away mental clutter, overcome fear, build habits that fuel your growth, and most importantly, stay on the path of personal development for the long run. You don't need to make huge changes overnight. Small, consistent shifts in your mindset will lead to big changes in your life. If you're feeling stuck or unsure about where to begin, this is your chance to start making decisions that will lead you to your best self. Every action you take from here forward is a step closer to becoming the person you want to be. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And this is just the beginning. What you learn here today can carry you into a brighter, more focused future. Stick with me as we explore practical steps, mindset shifts, and proven strategies to help you grow, stay motivated, and unlock your potential like never before. Chapter 1. The Power of a Fresh Start in 2025. Right now, you stand at the beginning of a brand new year. It's a chance to reset, to break free from old habits, and to step into the person you were meant to be. A fresh start isn't just an idea, it's a decision. It's a commitment to leave behind anything that has kept you stuck and to move forward with purpose. Too many people let the past define them. They carry old mistakes, regrets, and disappointments like heavy luggage, never realizing they have the power to set it down and walk away. The truth is, the past is over. It cannot be changed. What can be changed is how you respond to it. The way you think, the way you act, and the way you show up every day, those are all within your control. A fresh start doesn't happen by chance. It begins the moment you decide that you are done repeating the same patterns. It happens when you wake up and refuse to let yesterday's failures control today's choices. It takes a shift in mindset, a willingness to let go, and the courage to believe that something better is possible. Nothing changes until you change. If you have been waiting for the right time to improve your life, that time is now. There is no perfect moment, no magical day when everything will fall into place on its own. The people who create real change are the ones who decide that enough is enough. They stop making excuses and start taking action. They stop wishing for something different and start building it. Many people fail to make progress because they think they need to have everything figured out before they start. They hesitate, overthink, and doubt themselves into inaction. The truth is, clarity comes from movement. The more steps you take, the more you learn. Waiting until you feel ready is just another way to stay stuck. A fresh start begins in your mind before it ever shows up in your life. If you believe that you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe that you are capable of change, you will start looking for ways to make it happen. The way you talk to yourself matters. Every time you say, "I can't," you reinforce a mental barrier that keeps you from moving forward. But when you say, "I am figuring it out," you open the door to progress. Imagine waking up in the morning and feeling excited about the day ahead. Picture yourself breaking free from the habits that have held you back. Think about how different life could be if you started making decisions based on who you want to become, rather than who you have been. That future is not as far away as it seems. It starts the moment you choose to think differently. The mind is powerful. It can be your greatest tool or your biggest enemy. The thoughts you allow to take root shape the way you see the world and the way you show up in it. If you keep telling yourself that change is too hard, you will never take the first step. But if you remind yourself that growth is possible, You will start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Most people underestimate how much control they have over their lives. They think circumstances define them when, in reality, their response to those circumstances is what matters most. You can have two people go through the same challenge, and one will use it as fuel to get better, while the other will use it as an excuse to give up. The difference is not in what happens to them, but in how they choose to see it. If you want a fresh start in 2025, begin by setting new standards for yourself. Decide what you are no longer willing to accept. If you have been making excuses, stop justifying them. If you have been stuck in bad habits, commit to replacing them with better ones. If you have been surrounded by negativity, distance yourself from people who drain your energy. Small choices add up over time. One day of action may not seem like much, but when repeated consistently, it creates massive results. The person who starts exercising today may not see a difference in the mirror tomorrow, but over time they will become stronger, healthier, and more confident. The same is true for mindset. Every time you choose to think differently, you reshape the way your brain works. Your environment plays a big role in your ability to change. If you are surrounded by clutter, it affects your ability to think clearly. If you spend time with people who are always complaining, it will influence your mindset. If you constantly consume negativity, it will be harder to stay optimistic. Take control of what you allow into your life. Clear out the distractions, the toxic relationships, and anything that does not support the person you are becoming. The past does not have to dictate the future. Just because you have struggled with something before does not mean you always will. Just because you have failed in the past does not mean you are a failure. Every day is a new chance to make different choices. Every decision you make shapes the direction of your life. There is no need to wait until everything is perfect before you start. The most successful people do not have all the answers when they begin. They learn as they go. They make mistakes, adjust, and keep moving. The key is to stay focused on progress, not perfection. Imagine what your life could look like a year from now if you committed to a fresh start today. Picture yourself feeling stronger, more confident, and more in control of your future. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be is filled with daily choices. Every action you take moves you closer to the person you want to become. Change is never easy, but it is always worth it. The hardest part is making the decision to start. Once you take that first step, momentum builds. Each small win gives you more confidence. The more you show up for yourself, the more you believe in your ability to grow. This is your chance. 2025 is not just another year, it is an opportunity to rewrite your story. No matter what has happened before, today is a new beginning. Everything you need to create a better future is already within you. The only question is whether you will take action. Chapter 2. Clear out the mental clutter. The way you think shapes everything about your life. If your mind is full of negativity, doubt, and distractions, it's impossible to focus on growth. Too many people carry around unnecessary mental baggage, filling their heads with worries, regrets, and endless overthinking. This kind of clutter slows you down and keeps you stuck in patterns that don't serve you. If you want to make real progress in 2025, it's time to clean up your thoughts and create space for better ones. Mental clutter shows up in many ways. It might be the constant replaying of past mistakes, the overwhelming pressure of daily responsibilities, or the endless noise of social media and opinions from others. When your mind is full of these distractions, it's hard to see clearly. You may feel stuck, drained, or unable to focus on what truly matters. The first step to breaking free is recognizing what's taking up unnecessary space in your head. Many people don't realize how much their thoughts control their daily actions. If your mind is cluttered with fear, you hesitate. If it's filled with self-doubt, you don't take risks. If you constantly worry about things outside of your control, you waste energy that could be used to move forward. Clearing your mental space isn't just about thinking positively, it's about removing the things that hold you back. One of the biggest sources of mental clutter is overanalyzing the past. Everyone has made mistakes, missed opportunities, or faced difficult situations. While learning from the past is important, living in it is not. Replaying old failures over and over does nothing but keep you stuck. The only way to move forward is to accept what has happened, take the lesson, and focus on what you can do now. Regret and guilt won't change anything, but action will. Worrying about the future is another major distraction. It's easy to get caught up in what-if scenarios, imagining everything that could go wrong. While planning ahead is smart, stressing over things you can't control is exhausting. The best way to handle the future is to take care of today. When you focus on what you can do in the present, you build a stronger foundation for what's ahead. The people you surround yourself with also impact the clarity of your mind. If you spend time with negative individuals who constantly complain or bring unnecessary drama, their energy affects you. It becomes harder to stay focused and motivated when you're always absorbing other people's stress. Protecting your mental space means being selective about who gets your time and attention. Choose to engage with those who inspire and support you rather than drain you. A cluttered environment can also create a cluttered mind. If your space is full of distractions, unfinished tasks, or constant reminders of what you need to do, it's difficult to concentrate. Taking time to organize your surroundings can help you feel more in control. Whether it's cleaning your home, organizing your workspace, or setting up a system to manage your tasks, small changes can make a big difference in clearing mental space. The information you consume daily plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you're constantly absorbing negativity from the news, social media, or conversations filled with complaints, it influences your thinking. Being mindful of what you expose yourself to allows you to filter out the noise and focus on what truly adds value to your life. Choosing content that educates, uplifts, or challenges you in a positive way is a step toward a healthier mindset. One of the most effective ways to clear mental clutter is to practice stillness. In a world that's always moving, it's easy to feel like you have to keep up. But taking a moment to pause, breathe, and reset allows your mind to process things better. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, giving yourself space to think without distractions helps bring clarity. Writing things down can be a powerful tool to declutter the mind. When thoughts are swirling around in your head, they feel heavier than they actually are. Putting them on paper helps you see them more clearly and organize them. Whether it's listing out your worries, planning your goals, or expressing your thoughts, this habit creates room for new ideas and solutions. Another important shift is learning to let go of things that don't matter. Many people hold on to grudges, unnecessary stress, or unrealistic expectations of themselves and others. Carrying these things only adds to mental exhaustion. Accepting that not everything deserves your attention frees up energy for what truly matters. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion needs to affect you. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining a clear mind. If you're constantly saying yes to things that drain you or allowing others to control your time, it's difficult to focus on your own growth. Learning to protect your mental space by limiting distractions, saying no when necessary, and prioritizing your needs is a skill that leads to greater peace and productivity. Taking control of your mental space also means being aware of your inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself matters more than anything else. If your thoughts are filled with criticism and doubt, it's hard to build confidence. Shifting the way you talk to yourself, placing self-doubt with encouragement and focusing on progress rather than perfection, creates a mindset that supports growth rather than hinders it. Energy follows attention. Whatever you focus on grows. If your mind is cluttered with negativity, problems, or distractions, they will continue to dominate your life. But when you intentionally direct your thoughts towards solutions, opportunities, and personal growth, you create space for better things to enter. Training your mind to shift focus when needed is a habit that changes everything. Taking small, consistent steps to clear mental clutter leads to greater clarity, confidence, and control. When your mind is free from unnecessary distractions, you have the energy to focus on what truly matters. Each day is an opportunity to choose what deserves your attention and what doesn't. The more intentional you are with your thoughts, the more power you have over your life. A clear mind allows you to think more creatively, make better decisions, and feel more in control. Without the weight of unnecessary stress, doubts, or distractions, you can fully commit to becoming the best version of yourself. Moving forward without mental baggage gives you the ability to embrace new opportunities with confidence and focus. When you take the time to remove what no longer serves you, you make room for what does. A fresh mindset doesn't happen by accident, it's built by choosing what to keep and what to let go of. Clearing out mental clutter is not just about having a peaceful mind, it's about creating space for growth, new possibilities, and a stronger future. Chapter 3. Rewire your brain for success. Your mind is the foundation of everything you do. The way you think determines how you act, how you react, and ultimately what kind of life you create. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, hesitation, and negativity, your actions will reflect that. But if your mind is wired for growth, confidence, and success, you will naturally move in a direction that brings out your best. Rewiring your brain for success is not about wishful thinking. It's about reshaping the way you process challenges, opportunities, and daily decisions. Most people go through life without questioning their mental patterns. They absorb beliefs from childhood, past failures, and society without realizing how much those thoughts shape their reality. If you've been telling yourself that you're not capable, that success is for other people, or that your circumstances define you, then it's time to challenge those ideas. Just because you've believed something for years doesn't mean it's true. The brain is flexible, and with the right approach, you can train it to think in a way that supports you rather than limits you. Every belief you hold is like a program running in the background of your mind. Some of these programs help you like the belief that hard work pays off or that challenges make you stronger. But others slow you down, like the idea that failure is a sign to stop trying or that you're not good enough to achieve something great. The first step in rewiring your brain is identifying these mental programs and deciding which ones need to change. Pay attention to your thoughts throughout the day. Notice what you tell yourself when you face a challenge or make a mistake. Do you encourage yourself, or do you immediately assume the worst? Becoming aware of these patterns is the first step toward changing them. One of the most powerful ways to reshape your mindset is through repetition. Your brain strengthens the thoughts you repeat the most. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, what's missing, or what could go wrong, your brain will reinforce those patterns. But if you start focusing on possibilities, solutions, and progress, your brain will adapt to that way of thinking. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about training your mind to see opportunities rather than obstacles. The more you practice new thoughts, the stronger they become, just like muscles in the body. The words you use every day have a direct impact on your mindset. If you describe yourself as always struggling, not lucky, or not good at something, your brain accepts those statements as truth. But when you change your language to reflect growth and possibility, you give your mind a new direction. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," you can say, "I am learning how to do this." Instead of saying, "I always fail," you can say, "Every setback teaches me something valuable." These small shifts in language create a huge shift in mindset over time. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is another key factor. The people you listen to, the content you consume, and the environment you place yourself in all shape the way you think. If you spend time with people who constantly complain, blame others, or talk about why things won't work, it becomes harder to develop a mindset for success. But when you listen to those who think big, take action, and push past obstacles, their mindset starts to influence yours. This doesn't mean cutting everyone out of your life, but it does mean being intentional about who and what you give your attention to. Your habits also play a major role in rewiring your brain. Every time you take action, you reinforce a belief. If you consistently push through challenges, your brain learns that you are resilient. If you face setbacks and keep going, your mind adapts to see failure as part of the process rather than a reason to stop. Small daily habits like setting goals, taking responsibility for your actions, and following through on what you say you'll do create lasting change in how your brain operates. Self-discipline is another essential piece. Your mind will naturally try to take the easiest path, avoiding discomfort and seeking instant gratification. But success often requires doing things that aren't immediately comfortable. Training yourself to push past excuses, stick to your commitments, and stay focused even when motivation fades helps rewire your brain for long-term success. The more you prove to yourself that you can stay consistent, the more confidence you build in your ability to handle challenges. One of the most overlooked aspects of mindset change is emotional control. Thoughts and emotions are closely connected. If your emotions control you, your mindset will constantly shift based on how you feel in the moment. Learning to manage frustration, stress, and doubt allows you to stay focused regardless of external circumstances. Taking a step back, practicing mindfulness, or simply reminding yourself that emotions are temporary can prevent you from making decisions based on fear or frustration. Another important shift is embracing failure as part of the process. Too many people see failure as proof that they aren't good enough, when in reality, it's just feedback. Every successful person has failed repeatedly. The difference is that they use those failures as learning experiences rather than reasons to quit. When you start seeing failure as a stepping stone rather than a stopping point, your brain begins to rewire itself to handle setbacks differently. Visualization is a powerful tool for training your brain. When you consistently picture yourself succeeding, overcoming challenges, and becoming the person you want to be, your brain starts to believe it. This isn't about daydreaming without action, it's about programming your mind to focus on what's possible rather than what's limiting. The more clearly you see your goals in your mind, the more motivated and confident you become in pursuing them. Developing a strong mindset also requires patience. Change doesn't happen overnight, and your brain won't instantly let go of old habits. But every small step in the right direction builds momentum. Progress compounds over time, and with consistent effort, you start to notice shifts in the way you think, react, and handle challenges. Rewiring your brain for success is not just about thinking differently, it's about living differently. The way you approach your days, handle obstacles, and talk to yourself all play a role in shaping your future. Your mindset is the foundation for everything you build in life, and taking control of it gives you the power to create the results you truly want. Chapter 4. Stop letting fear control you. Fear controls more people than failure ever will. It stops dreams before they even begin, holds people back from opportunities, and keeps them stuck in the same routines year after year. The problem isn't that fear exists, it always will. The problem is that too many people allow it to decide what they can and can't do. If you don't take control of your fears, they will control you. But once you understand how fear works, you can break free from its grip and start making real progress. Most fears aren't based on reality. They come from assumptions, past experiences, or the worry of what might happen. The mind is powerful, and when it focuses on fear, it creates endless reasons to stay still. What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if it doesn't work out? These thoughts build up until they seem like facts, but they're not. They are just mental roadblocks, and like any roadblock, they can be removed. The first step to overcoming fear is recognizing it. Many people don't even realize how much fear shapes their choices. They convince themselves they're just being cautious, waiting for the right time, or making the smart decision. In reality, they're avoiding something uncomfortable. Fear disguises itself as logic, responsibility, or practicality, But when you dig deeper, you often find that it's just an excuse to stay safe. Fear grows when it's ignored. The more you avoid something, the bigger and scarier it seems. This is why so many people stay in their comfort zones. They tell themselves they'll take action later, when they feel ready. But waiting for fear to go away never works. The only way to shrink fear is to face it. Every time you step towards something that scares you, it loses power. One of the biggest fears people struggle with is the fear of failure. Nobody likes the idea of trying something and not succeeding, but failure is never the real problem, the fear of it is. Failure itself is just an event, a lesson, a piece of feedback. What stops people isn't the failure, but the way they see it. When you realize that every successful person has failed more times than they can count, you start to understand that failure is just part of progress. Another common fear is worrying about what others think. People hold themselves back because they're afraid of judgment, criticism, or embarrassment. The truth is, most people are too busy thinking about their own lives to focus on yours. Even if someone does judge you, their opinion has no impact on your success unless you let it. The moment you stop living for approval and start living for growth, everything changes. Fear often feels like a warning, but it's usually just a sign that you're stepping into something new. Growth always comes with discomfort. If you're never afraid, it probably means you're not pushing yourself. Instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, start seeing it as proof that you're moving in the right direction. The more you practice this mindset shift, the more fearless you become. Taking action is the best way to weaken fear. Even small steps make a difference. When you prove to yourself that you can handle things you once thought were scary, your confidence grows. It's not about eliminating fear completely. It's about learning to move forward despite it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to keep going anyway. Fear is only as strong as the limits you place on yourself. The more you challenge it, the more you realize that most of your fears were never real to begin with. And when you stop letting fear control you, you unlock a level of potential you never knew existed. Chapter 5. Find out who you really are. It's easy to get caught up in what everyone else thinks of us. From the people around us to society at large, there are endless opinions on who we should be, what we should want, and how we should act. But in the middle of all this noise, it's easy to lose sight of one essential thing, who we truly are. Finding out who you really are isn't just about discovering your personality, it's about reconnecting with your values, passions, and your purpose. Many people spend years trying to fit into molds that other people have created for them. They follow the path set out by family, friends, or even social media trends, without ever questioning if it's the right one for them. Over time, this can lead to a feeling of emptiness or frustration. You may feel like you're living someone else's life rather than your own. Understanding who you truly are means shedding all the layers of expectation, judgment, and fear that have been placed on you and getting back to your authentic self. The first step in this process is self-reflection. Take time to ask yourself the hard questions. What do I love doing? What makes me feel alive? What do I value most? These aren't questions that can be answered quickly or lightly, but when you really sit with them, you'll start to uncover what makes you tick. It's not about following a blueprint that others have laid out for you. It's about discovering your own blueprint. Self-discovery requires honesty. Many of us avoid facing certain parts of ourselves because they don't fit the image we've been trying to project. We hide our weaknesses, deny our fears, or convince ourselves we don't have certain desires because they seem out of reach or unrealistic. But true self-understanding comes when we accept both our strengths and our flaws. It's the ability to say, "This is who I am, and I'm okay with it," that unlocks your true potential. Understanding your values is a big part of figuring out who you really are. What do you believe in? What principles guide your decisions? These values shape your life in powerful ways. If you don't know what your core values are, you'll find yourself swayed by every opinion and situation that comes your way. You may take actions that don't align with who you are, or chase goals that don't fulfill you. But when you know your values, your decisions become clearer, and you can move forward with confidence and purpose. The next piece of the puzzle is your passions. Passions are more than just hobbies or interests. They are clues to your deeper purpose. What are the things that make you feel energized and excited? When you engage with your passions, you feel more alive and in tune with yourself. These passions are the things that can guide you toward a career, relationships, or a lifestyle that truly reflects who you are. Understanding your purpose is the final element in this process. Purpose isn't something you find overnight. It's something that comes from living with intention, connecting with your values, and pursuing your passions. Sometimes, purpose is a gradual unfolding, a deeper understanding that grows with time. Other times, it's a sudden realization, a clear vision of what you're meant to contribute to the world. The more you understand about yourself, the more empowered you become. Instead of feeling like you're on autopilot or drifting from one thing to the next, you take control of your life. When you know who you are and what you stand for, decisions become easier, and you can create a path that is uniquely your own. A big part of this process is also learning to trust yourself. Too many people let external opinions override their own instincts. They second-guess their choices, seek validation from others, and struggle with indecision. But when you trust yourself, you stop waiting for approval and start trusting your own judgment. You become more confident in your decisions, knowing that you are the best person to know what's right for you. Another challenge that many people face on this journey of self-discovery is the fear of change. Once you start to realize who you really are, you might feel an urge to make changes in your life. This could mean changing careers, relationships, or even your daily habits. Change can be intimidating, especially if it means stepping outside of your comfort zone. But the truth is, staying where you are, living a life that doesn't reflect who you really are, is far more uncomfortable than the discomfort that comes with change. Self-discovery is also an ongoing process. The person you are today might not be the same person you are tomorrow, and that's okay. Life is constantly evolving, and so are you. Embrace the fact that you are always learning, growing, and changing. Be open to discovering new parts of yourself as you move through life. One of the most freeing parts of understanding who you truly are is realizing that you don't have to fit anyone else's mold. You don't have to live up to other people's expectations. Your life is yours to shape. And when you start living authentically, with a deep understanding of your values, passions, and purpose, you will find a sense of peace and fulfillment that can't be found by following someone else's path. The journey to discovering who you really are isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. When you begin to truly understand yourself, your life will begin to reflect that clarity. Your decisions will align with your true desires, and you'll start moving toward the future that you've always dreamed of. Most importantly, you'll finally be living a life that is truly your own. Chapter 6. Build a mindset that can handle anything. Life can be unpredictable, and it's easy to feel like the challenges you face are just too big to handle. But one thing that makes a massive difference between those who succeed and those who give up is how they respond to adversity. Developing a mindset that can handle anything means strengthening your ability to remain calm, focused, and resilient no matter what life throws your way. It's about building an inner strength that helps you face challenges without breaking down, no matter how difficult the situation might be. Having a mindset that can handle anything starts with shifting the way you see problems. It's not about wishing for an easy life or avoiding hardships. Instead, it's about developing the ability to handle life's ups and downs without letting them knock you off course. Problems and setbacks are a natural part of the process, and those who succeed are the ones who learn how to face them head-on rather than run from them. One of the most effective ways to build this kind of resilience is to change how you talk to yourself when you face difficulty. Most people, when faced with a tough situation, begin to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or discouraged. They start thinking things like, "I can't do this," or "this is too much." These thoughts drain your energy and make the challenge feel even bigger. Instead of letting your thoughts spiral, try shifting your focus. Remind yourself that you've overcome challenges before and that this too is something you can handle. You have the strength inside you, even when you don't feel it in the moment. A key part of developing resilience is building your emotional tolerance. Life won't always go the way you expect. There will be times when things don't turn out as planned, when you make mistakes, or when you face unexpected setbacks. Instead of letting these situations shake you, practice emotional regulation. Take a step back, breathe, and allow yourself the space to process your feelings without reacting impulsively. This space helps you avoid making decisions based on anger, fear, or frustration. The more you practice emotional control, the more you can respond to challenges in a balanced and effective way. Another important aspect of strengthening your mindset is reframing. This means changing the way you look at a situation in order to see it from a more empowering perspective. For example, instead of thinking, "This is a disaster," try shifting your mindset to, "This is an opportunity for growth." Every difficult moment has something to teach you. You may not see the lesson immediately, but with time, you'll realize how the challenge helped you grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Reframing challenges in this way allows you to move forward with a sense of purpose rather than getting stuck in frustration or helplessness. Another powerful tool is gratitude. In tough times, it's easy to get focused on what's going wrong. The human brain has a tendency to fixate on problems and overlook what's going well. But practicing gratitude helps shift your focus. When you take time to recognize what's good in your life, even in the midst of struggle, you begin to develop a sense of resilience. Gratitude allows you to see that, even when things are hard, you still have things to be thankful for. This shift in perspective can help you stay grounded and motivated, even when the road ahead seems difficult. Building a mindset that can handle anything is also about taking responsibility for your actions. It's easy to blame external circumstances or other people for your problems, but true strength comes from taking ownership of your life. You are the one who decides how you respond to situations. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you react. Taking responsibility means realizing that your actions have an impact on your life, and you have the power to choose how you handle every situation. This mindset shift empowers you to take control of your life, rather than feeling like a victim of circumstance. Another vital piece of building resilience is learning how to manage stress. It's inevitable that life will throw stress your way. Deadlines, responsibilities, and unexpected events will always cause some level of stress. But learning how to manage that stress is a key factor in remaining resilient. Whether through physical exercise, deep breathing exercises, or taking time to relax, it's important to find healthy ways to cope with stress. When you regularly practice stress management techniques, you become better equipped to face challenging situations with a calm and clear mind. One of the most important elements of resilience is having a strong support system. While you can't always rely on others to solve your problems, having people around you who can offer advice, encouragement, and perspective can make a huge difference in how you handle difficulties. When you feel supported, you're more likely to bounce back from setbacks and keep going. Building relationships with people who uplift and inspire you can make the journey of life feel less daunting. It's also important to remember that resilience doesn't mean being invincible. It's okay to feel exhausted, frustrated, or defeated at times. What matters is how quickly you bounce back. Resilience isn't about never feeling knocked down, it's about developing the ability to get back up when life tries to knock you down. It's the willingness to keep going, even when things feel tough. Another way to strengthen your mindset is by focusing on the present moment. Too often we let ourselves get overwhelmed by worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. These distractions can take us out of the present and prevent us from making effective decisions. But when you focus on what you can do right now, in this moment, it helps you feel more in control. When you break things down into manageable steps, the challenge doesn't seem as overwhelming. Lastly, remember that resilience is built over time. It's not something that happens overnight, but something you cultivate with each experience you face. With each setback you overcome, you strengthen your ability to handle the next challenge. The more you practice resilience, the easier it becomes to face whatever life throws your way. Building a mindset that can handle anything doesn't mean you won't face tough times. It means that you will face them with strength, clarity, and perseverance. When you learn to embrace challenges rather than run from them, you unlock a level of power within you that can't be stopped. Life becomes less about avoiding difficulty and more about embracing it, with the knowledge that you have the ability to overcome. Chapter 7. Create a daily routine that fuels your growth. A daily routine is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, feeling like there's never enough time for everything. But when you create a routine that aligns with your goals and values, you take control of your time and direct your energy toward the things that matter most. A routine is not just about filling your day with tasks. It's about making intentional choices that contribute to your growth, happiness, and success. The first step in building a daily routine is understanding what you want your day to look like. Often we go through our days reacting to whatever comes our way. We check emails, scroll through social media, attend meetings, and run errands without ever really thinking about how we're spending our time. But when you take the time to design your day, you're creating a blueprint for success. You're setting up your day so that every action, every decision helps move you closer to your goals. A good routine starts with the basics. Get clear on your priorities. What matters most to you? What do you want to achieve? These answers will guide how you structure your day. If your goal is to improve your health, then your routine should include time for exercise, meal prep, and rest. If you want to grow in your career, your day should include focused time for learning, networking, or working on important projects. When your daily actions reflect your bigger goals, you start to make progress without even thinking about it. One of the most powerful habits you can incorporate into your routine is the practice of setting aside time for self-care. In our busy world, it's easy to neglect our physical and mental health, but without taking care of ourselves, we can't perform at our best. Make sure your daily routine includes time for activities that recharge you. This might include exercise, meditation, reading, or spending time with loved ones. A few minutes of self-care each day can make a huge difference in your overall well-being. Another key to a successful daily routine is consistency. It's not about creating a routine that's perfect for one day. It's about creating a routine that you can stick to. Consistency is what leads to real growth. The more you practice a routine, the easier it becomes. Over time, it becomes second nature. A consistent routine helps you build momentum and makes success feel inevitable. Even on the days when you don't feel like it, sticking to your routine gives you the discipline to keep going. Start your day with purpose. How you begin your morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. A rushed, chaotic morning will lead to a rushed, chaotic day. Instead, begin your day with intention. Set aside time in the morning to prepare mentally for the day ahead. This could be as simple as taking 5 minutes to plan your schedule, set your goals, or practice gratitude. A solid morning routine can create a sense of calm and focus that carries you through the day. Time management is a critical part of any successful routine. The key is to balance productivity with rest. It's easy to think that if you're not constantly moving, you're falling behind. But rest is just as important as action. Without proper rest, you can't perform at your highest level. Schedule time for breaks throughout your day. Even a short walk or a few minutes of deep breathing can help you recharge and refocus. Don't feel guilty for taking time to rest. It's essential for long-term success. A daily routine doesn't have to be rigid. It's important to allow for flexibility. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and there will be days when things don't go as expected. The key is to build a routine that has room for adjustments. You don't need to be hard on yourself if things don't always go according to plan. The goal is to have a routine that serves you, not a set of rules that make you feel restricted. Be flexible enough to adapt when needed, but consistent enough to keep moving forward. Focus is another important element of a successful routine. In a world full of distractions, it can be hard to stay on task. But when you design your day around periods of deep focus, you can accomplish more in less time. Make time for uninterrupted work or study sessions where you can dive into important tasks without distractions. During these sessions, put away your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and focus solely on the task at hand. Deep focus can lead to high levels of productivity and allow you to make real progress on your goals. Tracking your progress is another powerful way to stay on track. When you have a clear sense of where you're going, it's easier to see the results of your efforts. Keep a journal or a planner to track your goals and daily activities. At the end of each week, take a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished and what needs more attention. This reflection helps you stay motivated and reminds you that your hard work is paying off. One of the most important aspects of a daily routine is making time for personal growth. You can't expect to change your life without dedicating time to learning and improving. Whether it's reading, listening to podcasts, taking online courses, or journaling, make sure you set aside time every day to grow as a person. Growth doesn't happen overnight, but consistent effort over time will lead to profound change. At the same time, remember that your routine is a tool to help you thrive, not a source of stress. If your routine feels overwhelming, it's time to scale back and focus on what's most important. Don't overload your day with tasks just to feel busy. It's better to do a few things well than to do many things poorly. Focus on quality over quantity, and you'll find that your routine works for you rather than against you. In the long run, the way you spend your days is the way you spend your life. Your daily routine shapes the future you're building, and with each small choice you make, you're moving closer to becoming the person you want to be. Create a routine that serves your goals and values, and stick to it consistently. The habits you form today will be the foundation for everything you achieve tomorrow. Chapter 8. Master your focus in a distracted world. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. It's easy to lose focus with the constant pull of emails, social media, phone notifications, and the endless to-do lists that seem to grow longer every day. Staying focused has become one of the biggest challenges for most people, and it's no wonder why many of us feel like we're always playing catch-up. The good news is that, with the right mindset and tools, you can master your focus even in the most distracting of environments. The first step in mastering your focus is understanding why focus is so important. Focus is the foundation of productivity. Without it, it's difficult to accomplish anything meaningful. You may find yourself jumping from one task to another without ever fully completing any of them. You might feel busy, but at the end of the day, there's no real progress. On the other hand, when you master focus, you are able to dedicate your attention fully to one thing at a time, which increases the quality of your work and your sense of accomplishment. The key to improving your focus starts with setting clear intentions. Before you start any task, get clear on what you want to achieve. This might sound simple, but it's surprising how often we dive into tasks without really knowing why we're doing them or what the outcome should look like. Setting clear intentions gives you a sense of purpose and direction. It helps you focus your mind and energy on the task at hand, making it easier to avoid distractions and stay on track. One of the most effective ways to boost your focus is to remove distractions before you begin. If you know that your phone, social media, or noisy environments distract you, take steps to eliminate those distractions. Put your phone in another room, close unnecessary browser tabs, and find a quiet place to work. The fewer distractions you have, the easier it will be to stay focused. Sometimes even a simple change in environment can help improve your focus significantly. A clean, organized workspace can make a huge difference in how well you can concentrate. Another strategy to boost focus is time blocking. Time blocking involves scheduling specific periods of time for different tasks throughout your day. For example, you might block out an hour in the morning to work on a project without interruptions, followed by a short break, then another hour of focused work. By breaking your day into blocks of time, you can train your mind to focus fully on one task at a time. This prevents you from jumping around from task to task, which can reduce your efficiency and lead to mental fatigue. It's also important to practice the art of saying no. Often we struggle to stay focused because we take on too much. When you say yes to every request, you spread yourself thin and lose the ability to give your full attention to what really matters. Learning to say no, whether it's to a meeting, a phone call, or a request for your time, frees you up to focus on the tasks that are most important to your goals. Saying no is not about being rude or uncooperative. It's about protecting your time and energy so you can direct them toward what will truly help you grow. A helpful technique to stay focused is the Pomodoro technique. This technique involves working for 25-minute intervals, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 intervals, take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. The idea is that by working in short bursts, your mind stays fresh and focused, and you're less likely to experience mental fatigue. This method is great for people who struggle with long periods of intense concentration. By giving yourself frequent breaks, you can stay focused and productive throughout the day. Focus also depends on your mental state. If your mind is cluttered with worries, stress, or distractions, it's difficult to concentrate. One way to clear your mind is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment and fully engaged with what you're doing. It's about paying attention to the task at hand without letting your mind wander. Mindfulness can be practiced during any activity, whether you're working, eating, or simply walking. The more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to focus your attention on the task at hand. Another factor that affects your ability to focus is your energy levels. If you're tired, hungry, or stressed, it's much harder to stay focused. That's why it's so important to take care of your body. Eating healthy meals, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly can improve your focus and mental clarity. When your body feels good, your mind follows suit. Prioritize self-care and make sure you're giving yourself the energy you need to stay sharp throughout the day. It's also essential to give yourself the space to focus. We live in a world where multitasking is often seen as a skill, but in reality, multitasking can diminish your focus. When you try to do multiple things at once, you end up dividing your attention and reducing the quality of your work. Instead, focus on one task at a time. This will not only help you finish tasks more quickly, but it will also improve the quality of your work. Another tip for improving focus is to start with the hardest tasks first. Often, we procrastinate on difficult tasks because they seem overwhelming or stressful, but putting them off only increases anxiety and makes it harder to get started. When you tackle the hardest task first, you get it out of the way, and the rest of your day feels easier. This is called eating the frog, taking care of the most challenging task before anything else. When you finish that, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that will help you stay focused on the next task. It's also important to remember that focus is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed over time. Don't expect to be able to focus perfectly all the time. Start small and gradually build your ability to concentrate. Set short-term goals for yourself, such as focusing for 10 minutes without interruption, and then gradually increase the time. Over time, you'll find that you can stay focused for longer periods without feeling overwhelmed. Mastering your focus is about training your mind to stay on track, no matter what's going on around you. It's about creating an environment that supports concentration, setting clear goals, and developing the habits that allow you to stay focused even when distractions are everywhere. With consistent effort and the right strategies, you can improve your focus and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Focus is the key to achieving success in any area of life, and by mastering it, you unlock your full potential. Chapter 9. Train yourself to stay motivated. Motivation can often feel like a fleeting spark. It comes and goes, sometimes when we least expect it. The truth is, waiting for motivation to strike is an unreliable strategy. Relying on motivation to get things done is like hoping for a perfect storm to move things along. It's often unpredictable and inconsistent. The reality is that staying motivated, especially over the long term, requires a more deliberate approach. It's about creating a system where motivation is something you nurture, not just wait for. The foundation of staying motivated lies in knowing exactly why you're doing something. It's easy to lose motivation when the purpose behind your actions isn't clear. Ask yourself why you're pursuing this goal. Why does it matter to you? Understanding the deeper reasons behind your efforts gives you a sense of purpose that can drive you, even when things get tough. When your goals are aligned with your core values and what truly matters to you, motivation becomes easier to maintain. It's essential to break down big goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. Big goals can feel overwhelming and distant, which can sap your motivation. However, when you break those goals into bite-sized pieces, they become more achievable, and each small accomplishment will boost your motivation. You start to feel a sense of progress, which propels you forward. It's not about aiming for the big picture right away, but celebrating the little wins along the way. Small wins can snowball into bigger ones, keeping you motivated throughout the journey. Another way to stay motivated is by creating momentum. Momentum is the key to getting started and keeping going. When you accomplish one task, no matter how small, you build momentum that pushes you toward the next task. This momentum can carry you through the tough moments when motivation feels lacking. For example, if you want to start exercising but feel overwhelmed, just putting on your workout clothes and walking for 10 minutes is often enough to get things going. Once you've started, it's easier to keep going. Sometimes, staying motivated requires a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on how difficult or unpleasant a task may seem, focus on the positive outcomes that will result from completing it. Imagine how much better you'll feel once you've finished, or think about the benefits that will come with achieving your goal. When you focus on the positive impact, it makes the process feel less daunting, and it's easier to stay motivated because you see the bigger picture. Accountability can also play a big role in maintaining motivation. When you have someone to share your progress with, whether it's a friend, family member, or mentor, it creates a sense of responsibility. Knowing that someone is checking in on you or that you're working toward a shared goal can give you that extra push to stay motivated, even when things get difficult. If you don't have someone in your life who can hold you accountable, consider finding a group or online community that shares similar goals. Social connections can provide both encouragement and accountability, which can keep you on track. Another tactic for maintaining motivation is setting up a reward system for yourself. Rewards don't have to be extravagant or expensive. They can be as simple as taking a break, enjoying a favorite treat, or watching a favorite show after completing a task. Rewards serve as positive reinforcement for your efforts. Knowing that there's something enjoyable waiting for you once you complete a task makes it easier to stay motivated and push through the moments when it feels like you just want to quit. Over time, this positive reinforcement trains your brain to associate the work with a sense of satisfaction. Staying motivated also means learning how to manage your energy, not just your time. Often, we think about productivity in terms of hours worked, but how you manage your energy throughout the day has just as much impact on your motivation. Pay attention to the times of day when you feel most energized and use those moments for the tasks that require the most focus and effort. If you're not a morning person, don't force yourself to tackle the hardest tasks first thing. Instead, schedule those tasks when you have more energy and mental clarity. Likewise, take breaks when you feel your energy draining and recharge before diving into the next task. Understanding your energy levels can help you optimize your productivity and motivation. It's also important to be kind to yourself when motivation dips. It's normal to have days where you don't feel like doing anything. Beating yourself up for not feeling motivated will only make things worse. Instead, give yourself some grace. Understand that motivation ebbs and flows, and allow yourself time to rest and recharge when you need it. Rest doesn't mean quitting. It means giving yourself a break to come back stronger. When you're kind to yourself during these low points, it becomes easier to get back on track. Consistency is the cornerstone of motivation. Even on days when motivation is low, doing a little bit can go a long way. Consistency is what turns small actions into big results over time. You don't need to be at your best every single day, but showing up, even when you don't feel like it, builds momentum and reinforces the habit of doing the work. Over time, this consistency will create its own motivation because you'll start to see the progress you're making, and that progress will keep you going. In addition, stay connected to your vision. It's easy to get distracted by the day-to-day grind and lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing. But every time you feel your motivation slipping, remind yourself of your larger vision and the impact that reaching your goals will have on your life. This can serve as a powerful motivator, reigniting your drive to continue pushing forward. Whether it's your personal growth, financial independence, or creating a better life for those you love, staying connected to the bigger picture helps you keep going when the immediate tasks seem tough. Remember, motivation isn't something that happens magically. It's something you can cultivate through habit, mindset, and the right strategies. It's not about waiting for a burst of inspiration or for everything to be perfect. Motivation is about showing up, even when it's hard, and finding ways to keep moving forward. Whether it's setting small goals, building momentum, or rewarding yourself for your efforts, there are many ways to stay motivated. Keep experimenting with different strategies and find what works for you. Staying motivated is a journey, but with the right tools and mindset, you'll be able to keep moving toward your goals, one step at a time. Chapter 10. Turn setbacks into opportunities. Setbacks are an inevitable part of life. No matter how well you plan or how hard you work, things don't always go as expected. You may face challenges, mistakes, or disappointments that shake your confidence and make you question your path. But it's in those moments of setback that you truly have the opportunity to grow and learn. How you respond to setbacks determines not only your future success but your ability to thrive through adversity. The key is to shift your mindset and see setbacks not as obstacles but as opportunities to reassess, adjust, and move forward with even more determination. One of the most important steps in turning a setback into an opportunity is reframing the situation. Instead of seeing it as a failure or a roadblock, try to view it as a stepping stone. A setback is simply a chance to learn something new. It might be a lesson on what doesn't work, an insight into how to approach things differently, or a reminder that the journey isn't always going to be smooth. When you can shift your perspective, setbacks become less about what went wrong and more about what you can learn and how you can apply that knowledge moving forward. Take the time to reflect on what happened. It's easy to get caught up in frustration or disappointment, but you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What were the circumstances that led to the setback? Was there something you missed? Did you make a mistake? Were there external factors outside of your control? Reflection helps you take ownership of the situation, but it also allows you to take a step away from the emotional reaction and get clarity on what needs to change. It's important to be honest with yourself during this process. Self-awareness is a powerful tool in learning from setbacks and ensuring they don't hold you back. Once you've reflected on the setback, it's time to create a plan. Don't let yourself dwell on the negative. Instead, channel that energy into finding a solution. Look for ways to improve or adjust your approach. If something didn't go as planned, ask yourself what you could do differently next time. It's about finding the adjustments that will allow you to keep moving forward, even if it's at a different pace or in a slightly different direction. You might need to adjust your goals or change the way you approach a situation, but that doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're willing to adapt and learn, which is essential for long-term success. Another powerful way to turn a setback into an opportunity is by looking for silver linings. It may sound difficult, especially when things seem to be going wrong, but there is almost always something positive to find, even in the most challenging of circumstances. Perhaps you learned a valuable lesson about your own resilience, or discovered a new strength you didn't know you had. Maybe the setback helped you see a different path or alternative solutions that you hadn't considered before. Sometimes setbacks force us to slow down, reassess, and focus on what truly matters. In those moments, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our goals, and we come out stronger on the other side. It's also important to remember that setbacks do not define your worth or your potential. One setback does not mean you are not capable of success. It's simply a moment in time, a part of the process, not the final outcome. Your value is not determined by the challenges you face, but by how you respond to them. It's easy to feel discouraged or defeated when things don't go as planned, but remember that setbacks are just a part of life's journey. What matters is your determination to keep moving forward, your ability to bounce back, and your willingness to stay committed to your goals, no matter how many times you may face setbacks along the way. Resilience is built in moments like these. It's when things don't go your way that you develop the grit, strength, and perseverance needed to keep going. Resilience isn't about avoiding setbacks. It's about how you respond when they occur. It's about learning to push through the tough moments and keep moving toward your goals, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. The more setbacks you face and overcome, the stronger and more resilient you become. Over time, you'll develop the mental toughness to handle whatever challenges come your way. The truth is that setbacks often serve as the foundation for future success. Some of the most successful people have faced the most significant setbacks, and they've used those experiences to fuel their growth. Failure is not the end, it's simply a redirection. Every setback brings you closer to understanding what works and what doesn't, and it gives you the chance to adjust your approach and make more informed decisions. The key is to keep your focus on the long-term goal, not the short-term setback. A setback might set you back temporarily, but if you stay committed, you'll find a way to move forward. Remember, progress is not always linear. There will be ups and downs, and sometimes the road will take unexpected turns. But each setback is a chance to refine your approach, learn from your mistakes, and grow stronger. In fact, setbacks can become some of the most valuable learning experiences of your life. The challenges you face will shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person. The lessons you learn from overcoming setbacks will stay with you long after the setback itself is behind you. When setbacks happen, it's important to stay grounded. It's easy to feel discouraged or overwhelmed, but grounding yourself in your purpose and your vision for the future can help you stay focused. Remind yourself of why you started and what you're ultimately working toward. Having a clear sense of purpose can give you the motivation and resilience you need to keep going, even when setbacks feel discouraging. If you lose sight of your purpose, it can be easy to let setbacks derail you. But if you stay connected to your why, you'll find the strength to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you face challenges along the way. The bottom line is this: setbacks are not the end of your journey. They are simply a part of the process. How you choose to respond to setbacks is what truly defines your success. Do you give up, or do you take the lessons, adjust your approach, and keep going? Every setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better. It's not the setback itself that determines your future. It's how you use it to fuel your growth and keep moving forward that will lead you to success. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, but the more resilient you become, the better equipped you'll be to handle them. Keep pushing, keep learning, and always keep moving forward. The best version of yourself is waiting on the other side of every setback. Chapter 11. The Power of Your Inner Circle. The people you surround yourself with can have a significant impact on the direction of your life. They influence how you think, what you believe is possible, and what kind of energy you bring into each day. Whether or not you realize it, the people closest to you shape your mindset and actions in ways that are both subtle and profound. Your inner circle can either push you to grow, or they can hold you back from achieving the best version of yourself. It's important to take a step back and reflect on the people you're spending the most time with. Are they supporting your dreams? Are they challenging you to be better? Or are they unknowingly contributing to your stagnation? The power of your inner circle lies in the collective mindset of those around you. When you spend time with people who are motivated, positive, and focused on growth, you begin to adopt those same qualities. It's natural for your attitudes and behaviors to align with the energy of your environment. If the people around you are focused on self-improvement, work hard, and believe in their potential, you will find that you too are driven to be better. You'll naturally raise your standards and push yourself to achieve more. Conversely, if the people in your circle are negative, complacent, or stuck in their own limiting beliefs, you may find that you start to adopt those same patterns. Your mindset may shift toward doubt, procrastination, or fear, and you'll start to believe that your goals are impossible to reach. One of the key aspects of a supportive inner circle is the way in which these individuals challenge you to grow. Growth doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires pushing beyond your comfort zone, questioning old habits, and confronting your fears. The people who truly care about your success will encourage you to take risks, try new things, and pursue your Dream 7 when it feels uncomfortable. They'll be the ones who remind you of your strengths when you doubt yourself, and help you refocus when you start to lose sight of your goals. They won't shy away from telling you the truth when you need to hear it, even if that means pointing out areas where you can improve. Constructive feedback is essential to growth, and those who genuinely want the best for you will offer it in a way that is both supportive and honest. It's also essential to have people around you who believe in your potential, even when you don't. The world can be full of naysayers, doubters, and critics who will try to convince you that your dreams are unrealistic. But when you have a strong, supportive inner circle, they'll be there to lift you up when you feel discouraged. They'll remind you that you are capable of more than you realize, and that setbacks and challenges are just part of the journey. This kind of support is invaluable, as it helps you maintain your confidence and continue to move forward even when the road gets tough. In addition to encouraging you, your inner circle should also hold you accountable. It's easy to let things slip or procrastinate when you don't have anyone to answer to. But when you have people around you who are invested in your success, they will hold you to your word. They'll check in on your progress, ask about your goals, and help you stay focused on what matters most. Accountability is a powerful motivator, and having someone to report to can help you maintain the discipline and consistency needed to achieve long-term success. It's not about having someone to nag you. It's about having someone who genuinely cares about your growth and who will encourage you to stay on track. At the same time, it's important to be mindful of the people who drain your energy or hold you back. These individuals may not intentionally hinder your progress, but their negativity, lack of ambition, or limiting beliefs can start to affect your mindset over time. You may find that spending too much time with people who are constantly complaining, gossiping, or focused on what's wrong in the world can make you feel stuck or demotivated. While it's important to be compassionate and supportive toward others, you also need to prioritize your own well-being and growth. Sometimes that means distancing yourself from people who aren't aligned with your values or who aren't supporting your goals. Building a strong inner circle doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and effort to cultivate relationships with people who will support, encourage, and challenge you. Start by identifying the individuals in your life who are already uplifting and motivating you. These are the people who genuinely want to see you succeed and will help you become the best version of yourself. Spend more time with them and actively nurture those relationships. At the same time, be mindful of the relationships that are draining your energy or causing you to doubt yourself. You may need to set boundaries or limit your interactions with these individuals, especially if they are consistently negative or unsupportive. It's also important to remember that your inner circle doesn't have to be made up of just friends or family. In fact, some of the most valuable relationships you can build for personal growth are with mentors, coaches, or people who share your professional or personal interests. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you. Seek out those who are ahead of you in their own journey, whether that's in your career, health, or personal development. These individuals can offer valuable insights, guidance, and support as you work toward your own goals. As you continue to grow and evolve, your inner circle may change as well. You may find that certain relationships no longer serve your growth, and that's okay. Letting go of relationships that no longer align with your values or your vision for your life is a natural part of the process. It's not about cutting people out of your life, but about creating space for the people who will help you thrive. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to be better, inspire you to reach higher, and encourage you to take action. These are the people who will help you unlock the best version of yourself and stay focused on your journey to success. Your inner circle is one of the most powerful tools you have for personal growth. The people you choose to spend time with can either help you rise to new heights or keep you stuck where you are. By carefully curating your relationships and building a supportive network of individuals who genuinely care about your growth, you create an environment where you can thrive. Your inner circle will help you stay motivated, accountable, and inspired, and will encourage you to keep moving forward no matter what challenges come your way. Ultimately, the people you surround yourself with will play a crucial role in unlocking the best version of yourself. Chapter 12. Overcome procrastination once and for all. Procrastination is a behavior that almost all of us have experienced at some point, yet it's also one of the biggest barriers standing between us and the life we want. It's that nagging habit that keeps us from moving forward, even when we know exactly what we need to do. Instead of taking action, we find ourselves putting things off, telling ourselves that we'll get to it later, or that the timing just isn't right. But the truth is, there's never going to be a perfect time to start. Waiting for the right moment is just another excuse that keeps you stuck. Every day you delay, you're missing out on the chance to make progress, to learn, and to grow. Breaking the cycle of procrastination starts with understanding why we do it in the first place. Often, it's not about laziness or a lack of willpower, it's about fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of not being good enough. When we feel overwhelmed by the task at hand, it's easy to shut down and avoid it altogether. It's a way of protecting ourselves from the discomfort of facing a challenge or the possibility of not getting it right. But in avoiding the task, we're actually feeding our fears and allowing them to control us. The longer we delay, the bigger those fears grow. They seem insurmountable, and the anxiety builds up. But the more you give in to procrastination, the harder it becomes to break free from it. The first step in overcoming procrastination is acknowledging it for what it is. It's not a reflection of your abilities or your worth. It's simply a behavior that can be changed. The next step is identifying the underlying reasons for your procrastination. Are you afraid of failing? Do you feel overwhelmed by the size of the task? Do you struggle with perfectionism, thinking that if you can't do it perfectly, it's not worth doing at all? Identifying the root causes of your procrastination is essential because it allows you to address them directly. If fear is at the heart of your procrastination, then it's time to reframe your thinking. Instead of viewing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, try seeing it as a learning opportunity. Every mistake is a chance to grow, and no experience is wasted if you're willing to learn from it. Rewriting your beliefs about failure and success will free you from the grip of fear and allow you to take action without being paralyzed by doubt. Another key to overcoming procrastination is breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. When you look at a big project or goal, it can feel daunting. It's easy to get lost in the sheer size of it and feel like there's no way you can complete it, but when you break it down into smaller steps, it becomes much more manageable. Instead of thinking about the entire project, focus on the first task at hand. What's the smallest action you can take to move forward? It could be as simple as writing down a plan or making a phone call. Once you take that first step, it becomes easier to keep going. Before you know it, you've made significant progress toward completing the entire task. You can also use the power of momentum to your advantage. When you get started on something, even if it's just a small task, it sets the wheels in motion. The more you accomplish, the more motivated you become to keep going. It's like a snowball effect. Every small success boosts your confidence and makes the next step easier. Even if you don't feel like doing something, just commit to working on it for 5 or 10 minutes. More often than not, once you get started, you'll find that it's not as hard as you thought, and you'll want to keep going. Another strategy for overcoming procrastination is to eliminate distractions. In today's world, we're surrounded by distractions that constantly pull us away from our tasks. Social media, phone notifications, and the endless stream of information make it easy to lose focus and put things off. To overcome procrastination, you need to create an environment that supports your goals. This may mean turning off notifications, finding a quiet place to work, or setting specific times during the day to focus solely on your tasks. Create a space where you can be fully immersed in the task at hand without the constant interruptions that lead to procrastination. Accountability is also a powerful tool in the fight against procrastination. When you have someone to answer to, it becomes harder to put things off. It could be a friend, a family member, or a colleague, someone who will check in with you and ask about your progress. Knowing that someone else is counting on you can be a strong motivator to stay on track. It's easy to let ourselves down, but it's much harder to let someone else down. The fear of disappointing others can help push you into action. In addition to accountability, reward yourself for taking action. Celebrating small victories along the way helps reinforce the positive behavior and makes it easier to stay motivated. When you finish a task or hit a milestone, take a moment to acknowledge your achievement. It could be as simple as taking a break, enjoying a treat, or giving yourself a moment to relax. By rewarding yourself, you create positive associations with completing tasks, which makes it more likely that you'll continue to take action in the future. It's also important to be kind to yourself during the process. Overcoming procrastination isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, and there will be times when you slip up or fall back into old habits. When that happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, recognize it for what it is, just a moment of setback. Learn from it, adjust, and keep going. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. The more you focus on making progress, the less pressure you'll feel, and the easier it will be to take consistent action. Ultimately, the key to overcoming procrastination is creating a mindset of action. The more you take action, even in small steps, the more confident you'll become in your ability to tackle larger tasks. The key is not to wait for the perfect moment or for everything to be aligned before you take action. Start where you are, with what you have, and just take one step forward. Over time, that momentum will carry you to places you never thought possible. Chapter 13. How Gratitude and Positivity Change Everything. Gratitude and positivity are more than just feel-good words. They're powerful tools that can transform the way you experience life. It's easy to get caught up in negative thinking, especially when things aren't going the way you expect, or when you face challenges that seem impossible to overcome. But the simple practice of focusing on what's good, what's working, and what you're thankful for can shift your entire perspective. It can change how you approach obstacles and even how you see yourself. In our busy, often stressful lives, it's easy to overlook the little things. We can get so focused on what's missing or what's not going right that we forget to appreciate what we have and how far we've come. But when we take a moment to really pay attention to the positive aspects of our lives, we can unlock a sense of peace and contentment that makes everything else feel more manageable. The truth is, when you practice gratitude, you're rewiring your brain. You're training yourself to see the good in life, even when things aren't perfect. It's a shift from focusing on what's wrong to what's right. And that shift can have a profound impact on your mood, your energy, and your overall well-being. The more you focus on the positive, the more positive things seem to show up in your life. It's like a magnet that attracts more of what you want. Think about it for a moment. How often do you sit down and reflect on the good things that happened in your day? Maybe you had a small win at work, or someone smiled at you on the street, or you got a good night's sleep. These might seem like insignificant moments, but when you pause to appreciate them, you start to notice how many good things are happening, even in the midst of challenges. Gratitude doesn't just help you appreciate what you have, it also helps you focus on what you want to create in the future. When you start from a place of gratitude, you're coming from a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. Instead of feeling like something is missing or lacking, you begin to see how much is already there, and that sense of abundance opens the door to more opportunities and growth. Positivity goes hand in hand with gratitude. It's not just about being happy all the time or ignoring the hard things in life. It's about choosing how you react to life's ups and downs. Positive thinking doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect, but it does mean choosing to see the best in situations, in others, and in yourself. When you choose to focus on what's good, you start to notice more of it. You see possibilities where you once saw problems, and you find solutions rather than dwelling on obstacles. One of the most powerful things you can do is create a daily gratitude practice. It doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming, but it's essential to make it a habit. Whether it's writing down 3 things you're thankful for each morning, taking a moment before bed to reflect on the positives of your day, or simply taking a few minutes during your lunch break to focus on the things that are going right, gratitude is something you can practice at any moment. Over time, as you practice gratitude, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset. You'll start to feel more content, more at peace with where you are, and more optimistic about where you're headed. You'll begin to approach each day with a sense of gratitude, and in doing so, you'll unlock the potential for even more good things to come your way. This is the power of gratitude. It opens you up to the richness of life, even in the face of adversity. Positivity is a practice, too. It's something you can cultivate by choosing your thoughts and actions carefully. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, challenge yourself to find something positive in every situation. It might be difficult at first, especially when things aren't going well, but over time you'll get better at shifting your perspective. Even on the toughest days, there's always something to be grateful for. Maybe it's the kindness of a stranger, the love of your family, or the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. When you look for the good, you'll find it, and that will fuel your positivity. Another key to maintaining a positive mindset is surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on your energy and mindset. If you're constantly around negative people, it can be hard to stay positive yourself. But when you surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you, and who share your values, you're much more likely to stay positive. Seek out those who encourage you, who support your growth, and who challenge you to be the best version of yourself. Their energy will lift you up and help you stay focused on what's possible. Gratitude and positivity are contagious. When you focus on the good and stay positive, you not only change your own mindset but also inspire those around you. Your energy can lift others up, and in turn, they'll begin to adopt a similar mindset. It's a ripple effect that spreads far beyond yourself. By choosing to practice gratitude and positivity, you create a positive environment that supports your own growth and the growth of others. As you move through life, you'll face challenges and setbacks. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you feel frustrated, or when things seem to be falling apart. But in those moments, gratitude and positivity can be your anchor. They help you remember that even in the darkest times, there's still something to be thankful for. They help you focus on what you can control and what you can do to move forward. And above all, they remind you that no matter what's happening around you, you have the power to choose your response. Gratitude and positivity are keys to unlocking the best version of yourself. When you embrace these practices, you unlock a mindset that's resilient, optimistic, and open to growth. You stop focusing on what you don't have and start appreciating what you do. You stop waiting for the perfect circumstances and start making the most of what's right in front of you. And you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. By embracing gratitude and positivity, you unlock a life filled with potential joy and fulfillment. Chapter 14. Set clear, meaningful goals for 2025. Setting clear, meaningful goals is one of the most powerful steps you can take to change your life. When you know what you're working toward, it's much easier to stay motivated, focused, and determined. Goals give you direction, purpose, and a sense of achievement. Without them, you might feel like you're drifting, unsure of where you're going or what you're supposed to do. It's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture if you don't have something specific to aim for. In 2025, it's time to be intentional about what you want to achieve. Your goals should be clear enough to give you a roadmap, but also flexible enough to allow you to grow and adapt along the way. Too often, people set vague goals like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to get healthier." But these lack the specificity and action steps needed to make them a reality. It's not enough to wish for change, you need to plan for it and take actionable steps toward it every single day. A clear goal is measurable. You need to know when you've reached it. For example, rather than simply saying, "I want to be more fit," set a specific goal like, "I want to run a 5K in 3 months," or "I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months." These types of goals give you something concrete to work toward, something that you can track and measure. When you have measurable goals, you can clearly see your progress, which keeps you motivated. It's also important to make sure that your goals align with your values. This is what makes them meaningful. If your goal is something that doesn't truly matter to you, you'll quickly lose interest and momentum. For example, if you set a goal to climb the corporate ladder, but what you really value is work-life balance and time with family, that goal is going to feel hollow. When you set goals that align with your core values, you're not just working towards something on paper, you're working towards something that brings you closer to the person you want to be and the life you want to live. One of the best ways to stay on track with your goals is to break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. It can feel overwhelming to look at a big goal and wonder how you'll ever achieve it. But when you break it down into smaller, actionable steps, the process becomes much more doable. Take your big goal and think about the small tasks you can do every day or every week to move you closer to it. If your goal is to write a book, for instance, break it down into writing 500 words a day. If you want to get healthier, break it down into simple actions like walking for 30 minutes each morning or cooking healthier meals at home. Setting deadlines for your goals is also critical. Without deadlines, it's easy to let things slide and put things off. A goal without a deadline is just a dream. By giving yourself a timeline, you create a sense of urgency that helps you stay focused and disciplined. The deadline doesn't have to be rigid, but it should help you stay on track. It gives you something concrete to work toward, and when you hit that deadline, the sense of accomplishment will be incredibly rewarding. You also have to be flexible when it comes to your goals. Life happens, things change. You might encounter setbacks, face new challenges, or realize that your goal needs to be adjusted. That's okay. Goals are not meant to be set in stone. They should be dynamic and adaptable. If you find that a goal no longer serves you, or if you discover a new passion or interest, it's perfectly fine to revise your goals. What's important is that you continue to make progress, whether that means adjusting your goals or finding new ones. One of the most powerful tools to help you achieve your goals is consistency. It's not about making huge leaps all at once. It's about showing up every day, no matter how small the steps may seem. Small, consistent actions over time will add up to significant results. Think about the progress you'll make by doing just a little bit every day. Over time, those small steps lead to big achievements. Even if you're just putting in a few minutes a day toward your goal, that consistency will pay off in the long run. Another important part of goal setting is tracking your progress. You need to regularly check in with yourself to see how far you've come and where you still need to improve. Tracking your progress keeps you accountable and helps you stay motivated. If you're working on a fitness goal, for example, keep a journal or use an app to track your workouts. If you're working on a career goal, track the steps you've taken and the milestones you've reached. By keeping track of your progress, you can adjust your approach if needed and celebrate the small wins along the way. When it comes to setting goals, you also need to visualize your success. Imagine how you'll feel once you've achieved your goal. Picture yourself living the life you've been working toward. This visualization process is not only motivating, but it also helps you stay focused on your goals. The more vividly you can imagine your success, the more likely you are to make it happen. Visualization is a tool that successful people have used for years, and it's one that can help you stay driven and connected to your goals. Another key to achieving your goals is to find support along the way. You don't have to do it alone. Having someone to hold you accountable, encourage you, or just listen to your struggles can make a huge difference. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a community, finding support is essential. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and want to see you succeed. They can offer advice, share their own experiences, and provide the motivation you need when things get tough. Remember that setbacks are part of the process. No one achieves their goals without facing challenges along the way. When you encounter obstacles, don't get discouraged. Use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and adjust your approach. Every setback is a chance to develop resilience and perseverance. Keep moving forward, even when it feels like things aren't going your way. If you stay committed and stay focused, you'll find a way to overcome whatever comes your way. Setting clear, meaningful goals for 2025 is not just about writing down a list of things you want to achieve. It's about creating a roadmap for your life. It's about identifying what truly matters to you and setting yourself up to work toward those things every day. Your goals should be your guiding star, keeping you focused and motivated as you move forward. When you take the time to set clear, actionable goals, you take control of your future and you set yourself up for success. Chapter 15. Keep growing beyond 2025. The journey of personal growth doesn't have an endpoint. It's not something that happens in 1 year or with one big change. It's a continuous process, something that requires you to keep pushing forward, learning, and evolving as a person, no matter what stage you're at in life. In 2025, the most important thing to remember is that growth doesn't stop. Your mindset should be focused not just on short-term goals, but also on becoming the best version of yourself over the long run. After you've worked to transform your mindset, to set goals, to build better habits, and to create a life filled with purpose, you will realize that your growth doesn't have to slow down when you achieve those goals. The journey is just as important, if not more so, than the destination. Once you start improving one area of your life, it naturally spills over into others. The ripple effect of positive change is unstoppable. When you embrace the idea of lifelong growth, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities. Each day offers something new to learn, and each challenge provides the chance to develop resilience. You don't have to wait for a new year or for a new chapter in your life to push yourself forward. Every moment is an opportunity to take action and make progress. And this doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have everything figured out. What matters is that you are always striving to be better than you were yesterday. In fact, the biggest mistake you can make is to think that personal growth is a one-time event. that once you reach a certain point, you've arrived. The truth is, there's always room for improvement. Whether it's developing a new skill, expanding your knowledge, or working on your mindset, there's always something you can be doing to continue moving forward. Think about the person you want to be 5 years from now, and then ask yourself what you need to do today to become that person. What small steps can you take now that will lead to big changes in the future? Growth is not always linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and periods of frustration along the way. But this is where the real transformation happens. The times when you feel stuck or discouraged are often the moments when you're learning the most about yourself. You learn how to handle adversity, how to get back up after a fall, and how to keep going when the going gets tough. It's during these times that your resilience grows and you become stronger. It's not about avoiding challenges, but learning how to deal with them effectively. To keep growing, you also need to keep pushing your comfort zone. When you stay in your comfort zone, you stop expanding. You stop learning new things, meeting new people, and challenging yourself to think in new ways. Personal growth requires that you stretch yourself, step into uncomfortable situations, and take risks. Every time you do, you come out stronger on the other side. It's when you embrace discomfort that you truly begin to grow. It's also essential to stay curious. Life is full of opportunities for learning and exploration, and you should never stop seeking new knowledge. This could mean reading books, attending seminars, talking to new people, or trying out new hobbies. The more you expose yourself to new experiences, the more your mind opens up. The world is full of lessons, and if you stay open to them, you'll continue to evolve and improve in ways you never imagined. A key to lifelong growth is to stay adaptable. The world around you will continue to change, and you need to be able to pivot and adjust as needed. If you hold on too tightly to old ways of thinking or doing things, you'll miss out on opportunities for growth. It's not about abandoning what works for you, but about being flexible and willing to change when necessary. Flexibility allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and confidence. It gives you the ability to find solutions even when the path forward isn't immediately clear. As you continue on your journey of personal growth, don't forget the importance of self-compassion. There will be times when you make mistakes or when things don't go as planned. Rather than beating yourself up over these setbacks, show yourself kindness. Understand that growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. When you treat yourself with compassion, you allow yourself to recover from failures faster and keep moving forward with renewed energy. To keep growing, it's also important to surround yourself with people who inspire you. The people you spend time with can have a profound impact on your mindset and your growth. Surround yourself with individuals who encourage you, challenge you, and support you. These people will help you stay motivated, keep you accountable, and offer fresh perspectives when you feel stuck. Building a strong support network is essential for long-term success, as it provides you with the encouragement and wisdom you need to keep going. It's also crucial to celebrate your progress along the way. In a world that often emphasizes the need for constant achievement, it's easy to forget to pause and reflect on how far you've come. Take time to recognize your accomplishments, no matter how big or small. Celebrating your wins not only boosts your confidence but also motivates you to keep going. When you acknowledge your progress, you remind yourself that you are capable of great things. And those celebrations don't have to be elaborate. Sometimes, simply taking a moment to reflect and be proud of your growth is enough. In 2025 and beyond, commit to becoming a lifelong learner. Commit to embracing challenges and embracing change. Commit to being the best version of yourself every day, not because you have to, but because you want to. The best version of you doesn't emerge from a one-time burst of effort. It's built day by day, action by action. It's the result of your commitment to growth, to learning, to adapting, and to showing up for yourself consistently. When you make personal growth a priority, your life will transform in ways you never thought possible. The journey won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. And as you continue to grow, you'll find that the best version of yourself isn't some far-off destination, it's something that's unfolding every day. The person you're becoming is your greatest achievement. Keep working at it, and you'll unlock your true potential. And that's it. You now have the tools to start building a better mindset and unlock the best version of yourself in 2025. Remember, growth isn't about perfection, it's about making consistent progress. Take it one step at a time, stay focused, and keep pushing forward. You've got what it takes to succeed. Thanks for watching, and here's to your continued growth this year.